What's going on, everyone? Today we're hopefully going to finish one Xbox and halfway finish three other ones. So in the last video I talked about some stuff I was waiting on in the mail. This one actually showed up a day early. We got the Squirks build back. As I said, we're going to just swap all of this onto our Opus here. We already have all of the Mario parts taken off. You can see where the damage was on this top vent here. And I already have a new one painted. It was painted a little while ago. I also got our vehicle for, obviously, the Suki Fast and Furious build. So we can go ahead, line this up here, get this cut out so this can be kind of inset in there a little bit, and get this painted, and that way that'll be ready when the last couple parts show up for this build, and we can put it all together. We also got a couple of UV LED strips. As I said, one is going in this one. I mentioned that in the last video. We've got that kind of UV reactive acrylic underneath the kind of window situation. And while we rebuild this one, I'm going to change just a couple of things. Nothing that's going to, take time as we put it together. We're just going to put some different things on. One, I have one of those white pieces that go on the RF board that you can see through this power button. I have one painted black. I think that's going to look a little better. We're also changing the fans around a little bit. I'm going to leave the OEM style fans in the Opus. I mentioned the noise blockers in the 60 mil. I did not notice at first because I was buying the same ones, or so I thought, until I guessed these. But they had two different RPM types, and even the higher ones weren't anything crazy, like 2800. But the other ones are like 1600. And I still don't think that really has anything to do with it overheating. I still think one of the X clamps maybe popped or something. Maybe a screw was loose. I don't know what's going on, but we'll look at it when we open it. But regardless, we're going to take the Noctua out of this side. We're going to put one of the noise blockers from the back here, and we're going to probably either use the UV lights, I think there's a couple in here, or we'll use the second strip from this pack, kind of put it along the inside, and that should make the fan glow pretty cool through the little vent there. Obviously we'll get this one halfway together, but I still need the Ring of Light board for this one and the Mario build, so we can only put those like halfway together, just far enough to where we can still mess with the RF board. That way when those parts show up, we can slap all three of those all the way together. So without further ado, let's get this one torn apart and get the last couple things off of this one. It just still has the LED strip in there, and I'm going to take the Talus Moon fan out of the back. All the way apart, all the stuff taken out. Now this one can pretty much be set aside. I think we'll still try to put the Mario one on here, but obviously we need to test that a little bit further. Nothing was like really loose on it or anything, so I'm not really sure. But our Opus over here, we took the motherboard out because we need to swap the heatsink to the copper one, which I have a loose one on the shelf over there we'll just throw in because you cannot put a 60mm fan with that aluminum heatsink there. Okay, got the heatsink swapped out, old one right there. Now we need to swap the bezels for the DVD drives. I put the same DVD cable that we used in this one that was originally in there. It had a 3-pin connector and a UV LED on this side, and same thing on this side. I cut that side off because we do not need it. I can use this UV LED and connector elsewhere. Now I left this side on, and what we're going to do on this side is again remove this LED, cut it down here so we can use it elsewhere. I'm going to splice in the LED strip into that one, and then in this 3-pin is what we'll connect that additional fan to. Oh, I forgot that the tray is painted as well, so we got to swap that real quick. This is the painted black RF cover, and it's probably not going to make that much of a difference. I just think that background will be a little bit nicer on this. I mean, it's still lighter in that part, but I don't know, I just think that's going to look better. I did the same thing for the Mario RF board. This one I think you're going to notice a lot more. Alright, trays have been swapped. Took a little break from what we're working on to get this cut out. See, this now sits right inside that little slot. So now we can get this sanded real quick. There's a couple scratches, and while that's drying, we'll keep working on the Squirks build. Okay, got the top half of the shell back on with the noise blocker fan in there and the UV LED strip. The bottom half of the shell on, we'll put the bright pink bottom vent. Alright, now we will get the top vent on there. Let's see, which one was it? We'll just go with this one. And the faceplate. Not a huge difference on the power button, but it definitely stood out a lot more with it being white behind there. And I mean, you still see it, but it was worth it. Alright, now he didn't send the hard drive back with it, so this is all we got. And we'll go ahead and plug it in. I'm just going to throw like a DVD in it, let that play on the TV over there while we work on some other stuff, and make sure it's all good. And if it plays through that, we'll come back, throw an actual game in there, make sure that loads up as well. It's stacked on top of this Xbox over there. It's plugged in, 175 watt power supply. Just have a USB controller plugged into it. Got this, The Watch. It's actually a really funny movie. Loaded right up. Alright, here we go. Playing that. Definitely some nice cool air coming out the back. Can definitely feel some air being sucked in through the side there. So we'll just let that play. I threw the light pink down on this so far. It should be dry enough. We can put the next coat, which is the Rainbow Flake, and then we finish it off with that orange to reddish color shift flake clear coat situation. A color shift coat is on there. We'll wait about 15-20 minutes and put the other coat on top of that. I was going to do this one next. I mean, I guess I could put the UV LEDs in there, but I still have the fan and little nitrous bottles that should be here tomorrow. So I might as well just wait for the morning to do that, and that paint should be dry. I do also want to test out that Elpis that we just took out of the Squirks shell, but I kind of just want to do one at a time, so I'll let that one test over there. And I guess what we can do is these two right here. I should be getting the final payment for this one tomorrow, so I still need to pop the top vent off of this and see if we can trim it down a little bit just to make sure the hard drive is going to sit and lock in place perfectly. I mean, it locks in place, but you know, you kind of have to push it down once it's been jostled around. Otherwise, it just won't recognize the hard drive. This one we just need to change to the skinnier heatsink, and I was going to put that other Noctua in this one, but I'm pretty sure we would have to cut something out over here to make that work. And I don't necessarily want to do that, but I would like this one to have a little extra fan, even though this one is a Falcon and it was running just as good as the Opus is over there, actually. Okay, Vader's partially taken apart. Well, in terms of everything going on here, it's barely taken apart, but I sanded these spots down here. Those are what kind of sit on like those little pegs sticking out on the top. Obviously that as well. But all of those on both sides. I wanted to add a little bit of the E600 to this radiator just as an insurance policy. It takes about an hour to get like tacky enough to where I can put it back together. Fully cures in like 12 hours and it smells like poop. While we wait on that, let's put the final coat on that hard drive piece for the Suki build, and then we'll check on our Squirks build. You can kind of see that reddish pearl now on top, and then you get closer, you can see all the different colors in there. Still playing the movie over here. Where are we at? How do I pull this up? Alright, well, I don't know. We're like a quarter of the way through the movie. Little bit warm, but honestly it still feels like it's running great. I'd either have to change both heat sinks, move that piece so this could be installed in there, or make some kind of vent, or not do the fan, or get another fan. So while I mull that over, I decided to at least get some of this wiring done. All I have to do, even though we don't have that fan yet, is keep this 3-pin connector available over here. And then we're going to connect the UV strip to this, just run it back over here and just make sure it goes all the way along here. It makes this piece glow. So we're connecting this up now. Just need to put a little solder and then cover those up. And while working on that, I noticed our movie is now at the end credits. And yeah, I mean, this thing is running fantastic. Let's go ahead, go back to the home screen, pop this out. Make sure that works too. Alright, I'm just going to let it sit on that while I finish the wiring. Okay, we got this peeled off, held securely in place, plugged in here, UV strip, and the 3-pin connector right here that we just have kind of taped off for now to make sure it doesn't touch anything. So when the fan comes in, we can just drop it in place. Still just kind of sitting here on the menu. Honestly, probably been on about a half hour after the movie, so well over 2 hours. And yeah, I don't know, it feels like it's fully up to temp. It is warm, but feels pretty normal. Alright, got the Squirks build back on the shelf. I'm going to play some games on it, like actually play a little bit in the morning, but for now, I want to finish testing this stuff. We got this one plugged in. I did try plugging it into the power supply, and I'm like, why won't it go in? This is a Zephyr. It needs a 200 watt power supply, so we brought down the other one, and got this plugged into it. Actually have it plugged into the TV, make sure we haven't broken anything. Yeah, that's cool. So, I think we're good on this one. We'll wait for that fan, our nitrous bottles, and the pink ring of light, and we can slap this one together. Okay, we now have the board that we just took out of the Squirks build. I just set this on top. There's no LEDs or anything else in there. We just have the stock fans back in, fan shroud, DVD drive. We're just going to turn it on, leave it on the dashboard, just leave it there while we go take a look at Vader. We'll be able to hear if these fans are ramping up at all. Oh, on the wrong input. Okay, there we go. Vader all back together. I didn't push down on the hard drive, just clipped it in like normal. We're going to turn it on, see if it boots. And if that's all good, we'll then lay it on its side, again without touching the hard drive, power it up again. Don't think this controller is hooked up. Ooh, that was fast. Could be a bad sign. Oh, the TV just shut off. Alright, I think we're good to go. So yeah, it's just something, if it jostles around, you know, you might have to give it a little push, but it seemed okay this time. Speaking of seems fine, this seems fine so far. Let's see if this still opens. Yep. Now I forgot to mention, I did go back and actually retighten all the screws and everything. I think there was a couple that seemed like they weren't, that, you know, could have been a little tighter maybe. But I just don't see how. It obviously worked fine. I tested it out before I sent it. I couldn't see how it would take a hard enough hit. But then again, I mean, it did look like it was beat up pretty good. So I don't know. But with the stock fans in there, maybe it was freaking out that the fans weren't plugged in to the OEM plug in there. Who knows? But it seems okay. I don't know. I think it's going to be good. I still trust it better than the board that's currently sitting on our liquid metal shell, the other non-HDMI board, which is an original chip board. This one's at least an Elpis, so I don't know. I think, like I said, there was a lot of wiring. We did have a lot of stuff going on before, and maybe it was just a combination of a few different things. Something got bumped. It wasn't, the extra fan was a little counterintuitive with all the extra wiring we had for LEDs and things like that. So who knows? So we'll start getting that stuff set up, and then we'll probably end it there and pick up once we get all the ring of light boards and we can put all those in and finish those boards up together. So we got a bunch of stuff done on the inside of the Mario build. Yes, this just has masking tape on the LEDs for now until I get them exactly positioned where I want, and then that'll be more permanent than painter's tape. Same with cleaning up some of the wiring here. We added the wires from this fan coming off the other end of our little bright LED strip here. So that's all together. There's no wires running under the DVD drive. I also got a pack of stickers in today, and one of them is the actual star sticker there. So we put it on the inside. Hopefully you don't really see it until it's lit up. And then I didn't want to splice it more into our DVD drive cable. We've got these LEDs in our fan. So I took an adapter for the 4-pin OEM fan that has wires coming off of it. So it's technically 5 volts. We've got a UV LED on there for our eject button. I also replaced the mirror I'm using here. The old one looks even worse now that it's crumbled up, but you can see it just was not that reflective. Compared to this one here is a lot more mirror-like, so that should make the effect a little bit cleaner. Alright, top piece on, through the eject button here. We can plug it in, see what it looks like, and then this will pretty much stay like this until we get those ring of lights in, and then we can put that on, put it all the way together, and this one obviously is going to need some thorough testing to make sure it's going to hold up. Alright, pretty happy with that. You can see some of the LEDs still need to be moved just a little bit to make sure they're like right in the corners of the star. The eject button is glowing nicely, but not too bright. It's actually a lot brighter on camera. And yeah, I think everything's pretty much good here. So we'll set this one aside, and I got a few more parts in for the Suki build, so let's throw those on real quick. Back with the Suki build, we've got our 50mm noise blocker fan we can throw in here. We've already got the 3-pin for it. And our purple nitrous bottles that we're going to put just along the bottom there next to the fan shroud. Our little fan installed, the 50mm noise blocker. Made this little bracket here, simple little L bracket we cut from some shielding. We've got the nitrous bottle brackets right here, and then they'll just clip in. It's got some double-sided adhesive. This doesn't really weigh much of anything. This is going to go right down here. Alright, we're going to leave this one just like we left the Mario build until we get those LEDs up here, and we're going to do the same thing to the Halloween build. When we got the Mario star sticker, we also got the Pennywise stickers, so let's go put those on. We have the Halloween build back out here. We still need to put the wood grain USB door and sync button on there. I also have this eject button. We're going to swap out for that one. We've got our stickers, Pennywise, little paper boat, and the red balloon. Now this one's going on the back. This one will at least go on the inside. If we can fit this one as well, like on the fan tunnel or something, we will. Otherwise it'll probably also go on the back. We've got the sticker on the inside. I can't really spin it. There you go. You'll see it when it's on. And then we got all of these pieces on the faceplate done. Put the other ones on the back. And yeah, we'll plug it in for now, but we'll leave it in this state just like the other two builds, because we also have LEDs showing up for this one. So that's it for that one. Like I said, I think in a couple days all of the LEDs should show up. We can put this one together, as well as the Mario build. And around the same time I should get the laser for this one, so I'll just wait till that shows up to swap out the heatsink on this one, and then we'll have all 4 of those finished up. But for now, I need to get these 2 packaged up and shipped out. Forgot the outro. Don't forget to not like, comment, or subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Check out the link in the description to join the membership for a chance to win the Pennywise Halloween Xbox 360. Thank you so much for our current members, our new members, and thank you for watching again. See you later.